Datta, Sri Guru Datta, Jai Guru 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 Datta, Sri Guru Datta. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyaya Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Shri Ganapati Satchidananda Sadgurubhyo Namo Namaha, Harihi Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Hanumate Namaha. Jai Guru Datta and welcome to Datta Arpanam with your hosts Rishi Nirvan Balrup
and Ravita Singh. Jaya Guru Datta, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music and teachings of His Holiness Parama Pujya Dr. Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji of Avadhuta Dattapitam in Mysuru. Today's program begins with the offering of pranams, gratitude and this invocation prayer at the sacred feet of beloved Sadgurudeva Pujya Shri Swamiji, as this program, possible only through His divine grace, is offered to him. Please join his second in command, Pujya Shri 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 Datta Vijayananda Tirtha Swamiji, now in worship.
श्री गणेशाय नमः, श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः, श्री पादवल्लभ नरसिंह सरस्वती, श्री गुरुदत्तात्रेयाय नमः, श्री गणपति सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः, गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म, तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रीभूयुत श्रीहरिचिह्निताभ्याम् अगस्त्यरेखादिभिरञ्चिताभ्याम् निगूढबीजाक्षरमुद्रिताभ्याम् नमो नमः सद्गुरुपादुकाभ्याम्। गणपति गुरुमेकं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं, विबुधनिवहसेव्यं योगमार्गाधिरूढं, शरणमुपगतानामार्तिसङ्घाद्रिवज्रं मम हृदयनिवासं भक्तिनम्रो नमामि, भक्तिनम्रो नमामि।
Once again, everyone, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to this morning's episode of Datta Arpanam. Today's program is being brought to you through the kind courtesy of Ramlal Educational Institute of number 12 Exchange Lots Couva, Valini's Drug Mart Limited of 58 to 60 Sutton Street, San Fernando, Debe Supermart Limited of 182 SS Erin Road, Debe, and Koke Supermart Limited of 14 Naparima Miaro Road, San Fernando.
Recently on Datta Arpanam, you have been hearing the story of Srinivasa Kalyanam. And just 1 week ago, Ganapati Swamiji or Pujya Sri Datta Prabhu consecrated a beautiful Lord Venkateshwara Murti in Dallas, Texas, Kalyana Venkateshwara Swami. So, just as the physical form of that Murti is now well established in Dallas, let us also ensure that Lord Venkateshwara is firmly established in our hearts. And let us do so by continuing the story of Srinivasa Kalyanam.
But before we recap what transpired a couple of weeks ago, let us join in worshipping Naranarayana Maharishis, Goddess Saraswati and Sage Vyasa.
Narayanam namaskritya Naran chaiva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayeta. A few weeks ago, as the story of Srinivasa Kalyanam continued here on Datta Arpanam, you heard that when tasked with determining who was the most supreme of Lords Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, Bhrigu Maharishi, encouraged by all the other great saints on earth, set off to observe the Trimurtis firsthand. His first stop was Satyaloka, the home of his father, Lord Brahma. But when Lord Brahma and his consort, Goddess Saraswati, did not acknowledge the presence of the sage, the angry Bhrigu Maharishi cursed Lord Brahma, saying that Murti worship would never be offered to that Lord.
And before we move on, when Bhrigu Maharishi entered Satyaloka, Lord Brahma was chanting the Vedas. But even though the sage approached the Lord with prayers, Pujya Sri Datta Prabhu has said that we should never interrupt someone who is meditating, someone who is chanting, or even someone who is listening to sacred scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, we should not even disturb a sleeping person unless there is good reason to do so. Practicing patience is a great penance. We should not be in a rush to satisfy our needs by interrupting the practices or neglecting the needs of others. But getting back to what we heard a couple of weeks ago on Datta Arpanam, in a huff, Bhrigu Maharishi left Satyaloka and started walking in the skies again until he reached Kailasa, the home of Lord Shiva.
But how did Bhrigu Maharishi recognize that he had reached the home of Lord Shiva? Well, stay tuned in to Datta Arpanam to find out. But first, let us join in worshipping the son or Sutta of Lord Shiva, Lord Ganapati. Please open the Bhajanmala app or visit the website www.bhajanmala.com, enter Bhajan ID number 5 and join in singing the Pallavi and final Charanam of today's first bhajan.
ನಮಿಪೆ ವಿನಾಯಕ ಶಿವಸುತನೆ ಪೊರೆಯೋ ತಂದೆ ಗಜಮುಖನೆ 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 शिवसुत षड्विध रिपुदमना वरदायक हे गजवदना शिवसुत षड्विध रिपुदमना वरदायक हे गजवदना सुमनव पालिसु शिवनंद तमवानीगिसु सच्चिदानंद सुमनव पालिसु शिवनंद तमवानीगिसु सच्चिदानंद सच्चिदानंद नमिपे विनायक शिवसुतने पोरयो तंदे गजमुखने 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 नमिपे विनायक शिवसुतने पोरयो तंदे गजमुखने.
Listeners, I hope you have all liked and are following the SGS Posts page on Facebook. On the page, every day, Ganapati Swamiji or Pujya Sri Datta Prabhu gives about 15 or so short picture messages with words to uplift us and guide our day-to-day lives so that we can fulfill the purpose of this life, which is to, as Bhagavad Gita teaches us, uplift ourselves by ourselves.
And one of the instructions which Pujya Sri Datta Prabhu has shared on SGS Posts is we should pause for a moment to remember God before doing anything.
How easy he makes it for us to do this when he shares such catchy yet divine songs with us. Because when we hear and sing bhajans like the one you just heard, when we hear and sing it even once for the day, for the rest of the day, we go around singing it, even if it is only mentally.
And if we spend the whole day singing such Vedanta put to song, then it means that in an enjoyable, natural, and non-strenuous way, we are remembering God all day long. And if we remember God all day long, then we are not only remembering Him before we do anything, but also while we do it and after we do it as well.
Such is the compassion with which Datta Prabhu gives guidance. He not only gives the instruction, but he also blesses us with the means to carry out his instructions, which are aimed at our spiritual upliftment.
Jai Guru Datta. You are tuned in to Datta Arpanam. Thank you for joining us for this hour of devotion, which is coming to you on 103.1 FM through the grace of Pujya Sri Datta Prabhu, and thanks to the sponsorship by Ramlal Educational Institute, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, and Koke Supermart Limited. In today's recap of last week's excerpt from Srinivasa Kalyanam, you may have been wondering how it is that Bhrigu Maharishi, as he walked through the skies, knew that he had reached specifically the home of Lord Shiva. Well, it was the sound of mridanga drums and the smell of divine vibhuti that made him realize where he was.
And listeners, before we go on, can you imagine what a wonderful pilgrimage this must have been? To, as you heard a couple of weeks ago, arrive in Satyaloka and be lulled into a meditative state by the sound of Omkara while everyone else around you either meditated or chanted Vedas, and to now reach Kailasa and get the scent of Vibhuti.
Vibhuti has such a divine scent. You cannot smell it and not feel something stir within you.
So often, our body, including the senses, are involved in worldly binding activities. Binding meaning binding to the cycle of birth and death. But here, on this pilgrimage, The ears, instead of listening to negative news or lewd speech, the ears are being blessed with the sound of Omkara, Vedas, and Mridangam so far.
Meanwhile, the nose is being blessed with the smell of vibhuti.
These are little reminders to us that when we go on pilgrimages, we probably do not even realize how all-encompassing the benefits are. It is not just our eyes which benefit because we have the darshana of Sadguru Deva or murtis or a holy place. It is not just our feet which benefit because we can do pradakshina there. It is not just our hands which benefit because we can make flower and other offerings. But listeners, every aspect of our being benefits.
But not everyone might be able to travel abroad to go on pilgrimages. So, how blessed we are in this small twin-island Caribbean nation of Trinidad and Tobago. How blessed we are that, by placing His divine feet on these islands, Sri Swamiji has blessed this country. We are so blessed that, by consecrating the 85-foot Lord Hanuman Murti in Karapi Chaima, He has made this land a pilgrimage site for us and for others.
Listeners, on last week's episode of Datta Arpanam, you heard that August 12, 2025 was a very special and important day in the history of Trinidad and Tobago and in the spiritual history of its people. August 12, 2025 marked the 49th anniversary of Paramapuja Sri Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji or Puja Sri Datta Prabhu, an avatara, the incarnation of the aspect of Lord Dattatreya. August 12, 2025 marked 49 years since he first physically placed his feet on Trinidadian soil in this Janma or in this incarnation.
So that auspicious day was last Tuesday, and then last Wednesday, so August 13th, 2025, we celebrated the 49th anniversary of, in this incarnation, Puja Sri Datta Prabhu's first visit to the Aripo River in the heights of Aripo. And the words "in this incarnation" were stressed there because more than 35,000 years ago, there was a greatly loved king who had renounced everything to perform penance on the banks of a river known as the Sararipu River, or the Saptarishi Nadi. Back then, that king had promised his subjects that when the kingdom found itself in trouble, he would return to help the natives. That king, known to the people at the time as Aripo Muni Raja, was none other than Puja Sri Swamiji in a previous incarnation.
And that Sararipu River or Saptarishi Nadi or Sararipu Nadi as it was called in ancient times was none other than the Aripo River, which Puja Sri Swamiji renamed Aripo Datta Ganga, stating that when the earth consisted of one large landmass, the Sararipu Nadi was connected to the river Ganga.
So again, listeners, we see how this land is a land worthy of pilgrimage.
But this does not mean that if people have the means, they should not attempt to do pilgrimages outside of Trinidad as well. And it also does not mean that pilgrimage should only be about going to Avadhuta Datta Pitham in Mysuru. In fact, Puja Sri Datta Prabhu says that when we come to India, we should not feel that we should only stay where he is. Sure, being in Guru Sannidhi or being in his physical presence is a divine experience and a blessing, but Puja Sri Swamiji has said that we should make the effort to visit other holy places in India and to have the darshana in the form of murtis or temples. We should have the darshana of the Lord or Mother Goddess in other places as well.
If we pay attention to the words of Sri Datta Shodashi, we will see that that prayer alone tells us of 16 plus 2, so 18 different places of pilgrimage. Inspired by the journey Bhrigu Maharishi is undergoing, let us join in chanting Sri Datta Shodashi and then take a look at what is mentioned in that prayer. You can find the words to the stotram by entering Stotra ID number 2310 on the Bhajanmala app or website.
Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha. Satchidananda Sadguru Dattam Bhaja Bhaja Bhakta, Shodashavatara Rupa Dattam Bhajare Bhakta, Mahishapuravasa Shri Kalagni Shamana Dattam, Prudduturu-Gramavasa Yogi-Rajavallabham, Bengaluru Nagarasthita Datta Yogi-Rajam, Anantapure Sthitam Jnanasagaram Bhaja Dattam, Vijayavada Vilasitam Shyama Kamalalocanam, Machilipattana Samsthitam Atri Varadarajam, Jayalakshmi Pure Samskarahina Shivarupam, Madrasu Nagara Samvasam Adi Gurunamakam, Hrishikesha Tirtharajam Shri Digambara Dattam, Akividustham Vishwambaravadhuta Dattam, Nujividu Pattane Deva Deva Avataram, Bhagyanagara-sthitam Dattavadhutam Bhaja, Gandigunta Janapade Datta Digambara Devam, Kochinnagare Sthitam Siddharaja-namakam, Maya Muktavadhuta Bacharapake, Leela Vishwambharam Suran Nagare Bhaja, Satchidananda Janmasthale Datta Kashishwaram, Purva Samudra Tire Datta Rameshwaram, Satchidananda Sadguru Dattam Bhaja Bhaja Bhakta, Shodashavatara Rupa Dattam Bhajare Bhakta. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha.
This mantra, Shri Datta Shodashi, is chanted every evening in all temples consecrated by Shri Datta Prabhu Ganapati Swamiji. In it, obeisance is offered to 16 or Shodasha avatars of Lord Dattatreya, and the Lord is worshipped by 2 additional names as well. And all of these murtis were consecrated by Pujya Shri Datta Prabhu in various parts of India.
But that's not the only amazing beauty of that stotram. In it, the stita or place where each of those murtis is consecrated is also given. Those 18 places are 18 Datta Kshetras, all consecrated by beloved Datta Prabhu.
In some places in the stotram, you may hear the name of a place followed by the word Nagara, and this means that the city is being referenced.
Or you may hear the word Pura, and this means it is the town which is being mentioned.
Where the word Grama is used, it is a village which is being mentioned.
So now let us look at these various places and see which Datta Murti has been consecrated at each one. And let us begin with the one which many Datta devotees have already visited, Sri Kalagni Shamana Dattatreya, for whom the very first temple was consecrated by Pujya Sri Datta Prabhu in Mysore or Mahishapura all the way back in 1978. So if we do the math, Pujya Sri Datta Prabhu would have only been in his mid-30s when this Murti and shrine were consecrated.
You heard Rishi mention that in Sri Datta Shodashi, Mysuru or Mysore is referred to as Mahishapura, and you may be wondering about that. Well, Mysuru is located near the foot of the Chamundi hills. As the demon Mahishasura was the king of the land in ancient times, it was called Mahishapura. But in response to the prayers of the people of Mahishapura, Mother Goddess took on the form of Chamundi Devi or Chamundi Beta and destroyed Mahishasura right on that Chamundi hill. Now, instead of living in fear as people did in the time of Mahishasura's rule, the people of Mysore live in bliss, in close proximity to the main ashrama of Datta Prabhu, Pujya Sri Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji's. remembering the role which Chamundi Devi played in the peace coming to the people of Mahishapura or Mysore or Mysuru, let us take a few minutes to worship that Divine Mother. Please open the Bhajan Mala app or website to Bhajan ID number 336 and join in offering this musical prayer, seeking freedom from the cycle of births and deaths.
ತಾಯೇ ಚಾಮುಂಡಿ ಕಟ್ಟವ ಹರಿಸೆ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಕಟ್ಟವ ಹರಿಸೆ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಸಿಂಹವಾಗಿನಿ ನೀನಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮನು ಕಾಯಬೇಕಮ್ಮ ಸಿಂಹವಾಗಿನಿ 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 ನೀನಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮನು ಕಾಯಬೇಕಮ್ಮ ಓಡಿ ಬಂದೆನು ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಹಿಡಿಯಲು ನಿನ್ನಯ ಪಾದವನು ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ತಾಯೇ ಚಾಮುಂಡಿ ಕಟ್ಟವ ಹರಿಸೆ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ತಾಯೇ ಚಾಮುಂಡಿ ಕಟ್ಟವ ಹರಿಸೆ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಕರುಣಾರಸವನ್ನು ಹರಿಸಮ್ಮ ಸುಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಕೊಡಿಸಮ್ಮ ಸುಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಕೊಡಿಸಮ್ಮ ಮತಿಯೂ ನಿನ್ನದೆ ಗತಿಯೂ ನಿನ್ನದೆ ಸದ್ಗತಿ ನನಗೆ ಕೊಡಿಸಮ್ಮ ಸದ್ಗತಿ ನನಗೆ ಕೊಡಿಸಮ್ಮ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ತಾಯೇ ಚಾಮುಂಡಿ ಕಟ್ಟವ ಹರಿಸೆ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ತಾಯೇ ಚಾಮುಂಡಿ ಕಟ್ಟವ ಹರಿಸೆ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಕಟ್ಟವ ಹರಿಸೆ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಹುಟ್ಟು ಸಾವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಸತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹುಟ್ಟಿಸಬೇಡಮ್ಮ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹುಟ್ಟಿಸಬೇಡಮ್ಮ ಮೂರು ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮರಿಸುವೆನು ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದವ ಕರುಣಿಸಮ್ಮ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದವ ಕರುಣಿಸಮ್ಮ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ತಾಯೇ ಚಾಮುಂಡಿ ಕಟ್ಟವ ಹರಿಸೆ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ತಾಯೇ ಚಾಮುಂಡಿ ಕಟ್ಟವ ಹರಿಸೆ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಕಟ್ಟವ ಹರಿಸೆ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಕಟ್ಟವ ಹರಿಸೆ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಕಟ್ಟವ ಹರಿಸೆ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ
That old bhajan composition of Pujya Sri Datta Prabhu's still brings new joy to all those who hear it. You were just listening to Pujya Sri Datta Prabhu here on Datta Arpanam. Thank you for tuning in to this morning's program, which is coming to you on 103.1 FM through the grace of Pujya Sri Datta Prabhu and thanks to the sponsorship by Ramlal Educational Institute, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited. Today, inspired by the pilgrimage which Bhrigu Maharishi undertook in the story of Srinivasa Kalyanam, discussion began on the Shodasha Kshetras of Lord Dattatreya. So far, you heard that Kalagni Shamana Datta was consecrated by Sri Swamiji in Mysuru, which was formerly known as Mahishapura.
If we continue looking at Sri Datta Shodashi, the next Kshetra which is mentioned is Prodatur, where Lord Dattatreya is consecrated as Yogi Raja Vallabham.
And while Kalagni Shamana Datta calms down the fire of destruction of the world, Sri Yogi Raja Vallabha is the one who is dear to the king of yogis, while Datta Yogi Raja, the next form by which Lord Dattatreya is worshipped in the prayer, is the one who is the king of yogis, and this form was consecrated by Sri Swamiji in Bengaluru or Bangalore.
The fourth Kshetra where Pujya Sri Swamiji consecrated Lord Dattatreya is Anantapuram, where Jnanasagara Dattatreya, that ocean of knowledge, was consecrated. And just a little additional mention here, Anantapur is a short drive away from Jayalakshmi Puram, so if ever you are visiting Jayalakshmi Puram, consider visiting the Kshetra of Anantapuram.
And for those of you who may not be familiar with Jayalakshmi Puram, don't worry, we are coming to that in a little while. But oh my goodness, just even thinking of these places makes a person feel like going on a pilgrimage.
I was just thinking the same thing. And that is only after mentioning 4 of the Datta Kshetras.
I know, but now let us move on to the 5th Datta Kshetram consecrated by Pujya Sri Swamiji, and that is Vijayavada, where Shyama Kamala Lochana Dattatreya is consecrated. This Lord has eyes which glisten like a black lotus.
When a baby is born, at the right time, a naming ceremony is performed. However, in the case of Lord Dattatreya, his father, Atri Maharishi, did not perform any of the samskaras or purification ceremonies which are usually done, including the naming ceremony. This is because Atri Maharishi and Anasuya Mata were aware that it was the Supreme Being who has absolutely no samskaras or no tendencies. They knew it was he who had come to them as their son.
The trinity of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, pleased with Atri Maharishi's penance, had transformed into a boy with 3 heads and approached the couple of Atri Maharishi and Anasuya Mata. And since the word Datta means gift, the gods had used the word Datta to refer to themselves when blessing this couple or when gifting themselves to sage Atri and his wife. They were gifting themselves to Atri Maharishi and Mata Anasuya as the reward for that holy couple's penance. Those who had witnessed this scene then also addressed this boy as Datta, while the ascetics addressed him as Dattatreya, which means Datta who belongs to Atri Maharishi or Atri Maharishi's gift or Datta.
So the name Dattatreya was not exactly a name, but just a title, and since the boy did not take on a name as he grew up, he continued to be addressed as Atri's gift or Dattatreya.
But why discuss this now when discussing Sri Datta Shodashi? Well, it is because it sheds some light on the name of the Lord Datta Murti which Pujya Sri Swamiji consecrated in Machilipatnam.
There, the Lord is in the form of Atri Varada Dattatreya, meaning the one who has granted boons to Atri Maharishi.
And earlier you heard mention of Jayalakshmi Puram. It is the place where, on that auspicious Shivaratri night, when he was just a child, young Satyanarayana, as Sri Swamiji was called in his Purvashrama or Priyasatic days, young Satyanarayana in an Anjaneya temple was blessed with Sri Vidya or the knowledge of Mother Goddess, and he had the darshana of the Universal Mother, Mata Raja Rajeshwari, when his own mother, Mata Jayalakshmi, revealed her true form to him. It was at that place, on that night, that Amma blessed young Satyanarayana to be a Chiranjeevi, or an eternal one, or one who does not die. In Sri Swamiji's life history, the area is called Bhumiparthi, but in honor of Mata Jayalakshmi, it has since been renamed Jayalakshmi Puram, thanks to the efforts of Pujya Sri Swamiji.
Now, just to be clear, there is a Jayalakshmi Puram in Karnataka state, but the one just mentioned, what used to be Bhumiparthi and is now Jayalakshmi Puram, that is in Andhra Pradesh. And given the significance and auspiciousness of this great place, it should come as no surprise that one of the 16 Datta Kshetras consecrated by Pujya Sri Datta Prabhu is Jayalakshmi Puram.
And given that that amazingly divine occurrence happened on a Mahashivaratri night, again it should come as no surprise that the Murti there is Samskara Hina Shivarupa Dattatreya, meaning he who is in the form of Shiva and is devoid or hina of any samskaras.
In Madras, now known as Chennai, the Dattatreya Murti consecrated by Pujya Sri Swamiji is Adi Guru Dattatreya. That word Adi Guru meaning the first or Adi, teacher or guru.
In Rishikesh, Pujya Sri Swamiji consecrated Digambara Datta. And while the word Digambara translates to naked or without decoration, here does not literally mean naked, but it means all-pervading or not limited. You see, the Lord exists everywhere. So what can he wear if he is all-pervading and has no beginning and no end? What can completely cover him if he is what covers and permeates everything and everyone?
That word, Digambara, is the combination of two words, Diga, meaning direction or space, and Ambara, meaning clothing. So when the Lord is worshipped as Digambara, the literal translation is clad in space, or in other words, naked or without decorations. But as you just heard, what it actually indicates is that he is all-pervading.
The next Datta Kshetra consecrated by Sri Datta Prabhu was Akivedu in the West Godavari region of Andhra Pradesh. Here one can find Vishwambaravadhuta Dattatreya, or Lord Datta, who is free of bondages and sustains the entire universe.
The 11th of the Shodasha Kshetrams is Nujividu or Nuzvid, which is also in Andhra Pradesh. And here, Deva Deva Dattatreya can be found. Deva Deva meaning the God of gods.
And then in Bhagyanagara, also known as Hyderabad, Sri Swamiji consecrated Dattatreya as Dattavadhuta, while in Gandigunta we again see the word Digambara coming into play when Pujya Sri Swamiji consecrated Datta Digambara.
And Siddharaja, meaning King of the Accomplished Ones, Siddharaja Dattatreya was consecrated in Cochin, Kerala, while in Acharapakam in Tamil Nadu, Maya Mukta Vadhuta Dattatreya was consecrated. That word, Maya Mukta Vadhuta, tells us that the Lord is free from illusions and bondages.
The 16th Kshetra is in Surat, Gujarat, where Leela Vishwambhara Dattatreya was consecrated by Datta Prabhu Ganapati Swamiji.
But listeners, by now you probably know that when Ganapati Swamiji does something, he does it beyond the scope of what anyone could have imagined. And so, he did not stop at consecrating 16 Lord Dattatreya pilgrimage centers across India, but instead he consecrated a further not one but 2 centers, one at Mekadatu, which is his birthplace or Janmasthala, and one at Manginapudi.
In Mekadatu, the Datta Kashishvara Murti was consecrated, and in Manginapudi, which is near Machilepatnam, at the eastern or Purva, seashore or Samudra Tira, Datta Rameshwara Murti was consecrated.
So listeners, that is 18 Dattatreya pilgrimage sites which have been consecrated by Sri Datta Prabhu across India.
It is a great blessing to visit one of these kshetrams in one's lifetime, far more to visit all 18 of them.
But we must remember Puja Sri Datta Prabhu's instruction, and while we have health and the means, try to visit as many of these pilgrimage sites as possible.
In the meantime, let us once again worship the Shodasha avatars of Lord Dattatreya, which were consecrated by Puja Sri Datta Prabhu. But this time, let us do so through bhajan. Please open the Bhajan Mala app or website to Bhajan ID number 183 and join in singing this enchanting bhajan.
Chaitra Shuddha Purnima Vishwambaravatu Tadatta Chaitra Shuddha Purnima Vishwambaravatu Chaitra Shuddha Purnima Vishwambaravatu Tadatta Chaitra Shuddha Purnima Vishwambaravatu Vishwambaravatu Tadatta Vishwaraksha Swami Datta Vishwambaravatu Chaitra Shuddha Purnima Vishwambaravatu Tadatta Vashaka Shuddha Chaturdashi Maya Muktavatu Tadatta Shaka Shuddha Chaturdashi Maya Muktavatu Tadatta Maya Muktavatu Tadatta Maya Antaryami Datta Maya Muktavatu Maya Antaryami Datta Chaitra Shuddha Chaitra Shuddha Purnima Vishwambaravatu Tadatta Chaitra Shuddha Purnima Vishwambaravatu Tadatta Jyeshta Shuddha Purnima Datta 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 Jyeshta Shuddha Purnima Dattavadhuta Taraka Jyeshta Shuddha Purnima Dattavadhuta Taraka Dattavadhuta Taraka Artajana Posharaksha Ashada Shuddha Purnima Adi Guru Namaka Ashada Shuddha Purnima Adi Guru Namaka Mula Guru Rupa Datta Adi Guru Namaka Mula Guru Rupa Datta 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 Chaitra Shuddha Purnima Chaitra Shuddha Purnima Chaitra Shuddha Purnima Vishwambaravatu Tadatta Vishwambaravatu Tadatta Chaitra Shuddha Purnima Vishwambaravatu Tadatta Shravana Shuddha Ashtami Samskarahin Shiva Rupa Datta Datta Shravana Shuddha Ashtami Samskarakina Shiva Rupa Samskarakina Shiva Rupa Samskarakina Moksha Datta Bhadrapada Shuddha Chaturdashi Deva Deva Avatara భాద్రపద శుద్ధ చతుర్దశి దేవదేవ అవతార దేవదేవ అవతార దేవగురు దత్త దేవదేవ అవతార దేవగురు దత్త 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 చైత్ర శుద్ధ పౌర్ణిమ శుద్ధ పౌర్ణిమ విశ్వాంబరావధూత దత్త ఆశ్వీజ శుద్ధ పౌర్ణిమ దిగంబరావధూత దత్త ఆశ్వీజ శుద్ధ పౌర్ణిమ దిగంబరావధూత దత్త దిగంబరావతార దత్త శుద్ధ తత్వ దత్త దత్త కార్తీక శుద్ధ ద్వాదశి శ్యామ కమల లోచన శ్యామ కమల లోచన పాప దూర దత్త దత్త శ్యామ కమల లోచన పాప దూర దత్త దత్త శ్యామ కమల లోచన పాప దూర దత్త 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 చైత్ర శుద్ధ పౌర్ణిమ విశ్వాంబరావధూత దత్త చైత్ర శుద్ధ విశ్వాంబరావధూత దత్త కార్తీక శుద్ధ పౌర్ణిమ కార్తీక శుద్ధ పౌర్ణిమ ಯೋಗಿರಾಜ ನಾಮಕ ಯೋಗಿರಾಜ ನಾಮಕ ರೋಗಗಳ ದೂರದತ್ತ ಯೋಗಿರಾಜ ನಾಮಕ ರೋಗಗಳ ದೂರದತ್ತ ಕಾರ್ತೀಕ ಬಹುಳ ಪಾಡ್ಯಮಿ ಅತ್ರಿವರದ ರೂಪನೆ ಅತ್ರಿವರದ ರೂಪನೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ನೇತ್ರ ವರದ ದತ್ತ ಅತ್ರಿವರದ ರೂಪನೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ನೇತ್ರ ವರದ ದತ್ತ 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 ಚೈತ್ರ ಶುದ್ಧ ಪೌರ್ಣಿಮಾ ವಿಶ್ವಾಂಬರಾವಧೂತ ಚೈತ್ರ ಶುದ್ಧ ಪೌರ್ಣಿಮಾ ವಿಶ್ವಾಂಬರಾವಧೂತ ದತ್ತ ವಿಶ್ವಾಂಬರಾವಧೂತ ದತ್ತ ಕಾರ್ತೀಕ ಬಹುಳ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ದಿಗಂಬರಾವತಾರಕ ದತ್ತ ದಿಗಂಬರಾವತಾರಕ ದಿವ್ಯ ಕರುಣ ದತ್ತ 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 ಮಾರ್ಗಶಿರ ಶುದ್ಧ ಪೂರ್ಣಿಮಾ ಕಾಲಾಗ್ನಿಶಮನ ನಾಮಕ ಕಾಲಾಗ್ನಿಶಮನ ನಾಮಕ ಕಾಲ ಕಾಲತೀತ ದತ್ತ ಕಾಲ ಕಾಲತೀತ ಕಾಲಾಗ್ನಿಶಮನ ನಾಮಕ ಕಾಲಕಾಲತೀತ ದತ್ತ 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 ಮಾರ್ಗಶರ ಶುದ್ಧ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ योगिराज वल्लभा मार्गशिर शुद्ध द्वितीय योगिराज वल्लभा योगिराज वल्लभ योगಗಳ ಮೂಲ ದತ್ತ ದತ್ತ ಯೋಗಿರಾಜ ವಲ್ಲಭ ಯೋಗಗಳ ಮೂಲ ದತ್ತ ಯೋಗಗಳ ಮೂಲ ದತ್ತ ಪುಷ್ಯ ಶುದ್ಧ ಪೌರ್ಣಿಮಾ ಪುಷ್ಯ ಶುದ್ಧ ಪೌರ್ಣಿಮಾ ಲೀಲಾ ವಿಶ್ವಾಂಬರ ಲೀಲಾ ವಿಶ್ವಾಂಬರ ಲೀಲೆಗಳ ಚರಿತ ದತ್ತ 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 ಲೀಲಾ ವಿಶ್ವಾಂಬರ ಲೀಲೆಗಳ ಚರಿತ ದತ್ತ ಲೀಲೆಗಳ ಚರಿತ ದತ್ತ 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 ಚೈತ್ರ ಶುದ್ಧ ಪೌರ್ಣಿಮಾ ವಿಶ್ವಾಂಬರಾವಧೂತ ಚೈತ್ರ ಶುದ್ಧ ಪೌರ್ಣಿಮಾ ಶುದ್ಧ ಪೌರ್ಣಿಮಾ ವಿಶ್ವಾಂಬರಾವಧೂತ ಚೈತ್ರ ಶುದ್ಧ ಪೌರ್ಣಿಮಾ ವಿಶ್ವಾಂಬರಾವಧೂತ ದತ್ತ ವಿಶ್ವಾಂಬರಾವಧೂತ ದತ್ತ षोडशवताराना षोडश पूर्णाना षड्विकारा दूरा दत्ता षोडशवताराना षोडश पूर्णा षड्विकारा दूरा दत्ता ನವವಿಧ ಭಕ್ತಿಲಿ ಭಜಿಸಿದ ದತ್ತಾನ ಕಷ್ಟವನೆಲ್ಲ ಮರೆಯಿರಿ ನವವಿಧ ಭಕ್ತಿಲಿ ಭಜಿಸಿದ ದತ್ತಾನ್ ಕಷ್ಟವನೆಲ್ಲ ಮರೆಯಿರಿ ನಿಷ್ಠೆಗಿಂದಲಿ ಭಜಿಸಿದ ದತ್ತಾನ ಅಷ್ಟೈಶ್ವರ್ಯವ ಪಡೆಯಿರಿ ನಿಷ್ಠೆಗಿಂದಲಿ ಭಜಿಸಿದ ದತ್ತಾನ ಅಷ್ಟೈಶ್ವರ್ಯವ ಪಡೆಯಿರಿ ಸುಂದರವಾದ ನಾಮಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ರಾಗವ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಹಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಿ ಭಕ್ತಾರೆ ಹಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿರಿ ಭಕ್ತಾರೆ ಸುಂದರವಾದ ನಾಮಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದನ ರಾಗವ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಹಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿರಿ ಭಕ್ತಾರೆ ಹಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿರಿ ಭಕ್ತಾರೆ ಹಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿರಿ ಭಕ್ತಾರೆ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ದತ್ತ ಜೈ ಗುರು ದತ್ತ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ದತ್ತ ಜೈ ಗುರು ದತ್ತ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ದತ್ತ ಜೈ ಗುರು ದತ್ತ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ದತ್ತ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ದತ್ತ ಜೈ ಗುರು ದತ್ತ ಜೈ ಗುರು ದತ್ತ ಶ್ರೀ 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 ಗುರು ದತ್ತ ಹರೇ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ದತ್ತ ಜೈ ಗುರು ದತ್ತ 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 ಜೈ ಗುರು ದತ್ತ.
Listeners, today instead of continuing with the pilgrimage undertaken by Bhrigu Maharishi, we ended up on a Shodasha Datta Kshetra pilgrimage. Again, if you are blessed with the opportunity to visit India, try to visit one or a few of these kshetras at least.
In the meantime, by Datta Prabhu's grace, the story of Srinivasa Kalyanam and Bhrigu Maharishi's quest to determine the most supreme of the Trimurtis will continue next week.
In the meantime, registration for the local branch of Pujya Sri Datta Prabhu's Gita Mahayagna program is open. So be sure to go to the website www.sgsgita, that's Gita, foundation.org. So once again, that's www.sgsgitafoundation.org and sign up for this life-changing experience of learning Bhagavad Gita. One more time, it is www.sgsgitafoundation.org.
Trinidad has been referred to as Hanuman Land. Let us also make it Bhagavad Gita Land. So be sure to register, everyone. One more time, you can register by visiting the website www.sgsgitafoundation.org. And now, at this stage, we must begin to wrap up today's episode of Datta Arpanam.
Pranams and gratitude are offered at the divine feet of beloved Sadgurudeva, Paramapujya Sri Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji and Sri Datta Vijayananda Tirtha Swamiji, without whose teachings, compassion, love, guidance and music, this program would not exist.
Pranams to you, Datta Prabhu and Sri Swamiji. Kindly forgive any errors which may have been committed in preparing or in sharing today's episode of Datta Arpanam, and please guide us to avoid such errors in the future.
Special thanks are extended to the staff at 103.1 FM and to the sponsors of Datta Arpanam, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, Ramlal Educational Institute, Debe Supermart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited. And of course, dear listener, an extra special thank you is extended to you for sharing this devotional hour with us.
If you would like to listen to today's program again, check out the Datta Arpanam Facebook page, where later this week the YouTube link for today's episode will be shared.
Once again, everyone, thank you for tuning in today. You are invited to please tune in to 103.1 FM again next Sunday at 6 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time for another episode of Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music and teachings of His Holiness Paramapujya Sri Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji.
Jai Guru Datta.
Shri Guru Datta. Harihi Om Tat Sat.
श्री गणेशाय नमः श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीपादवल्लभ नरसिंह सरस्वती श्री गुरुदत्तात्रेयाय नमः दत्तात्रेयं महात्मानं वरदं भक्तवत्सलं प्रपन्नार्तिहरं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु दीनबन्धुं कृपासिन्धुं सर्वकारणकारणं सर्वरक्षाकरं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु शरणागतदीनार्थ परित्राणपरायणं नारायणं विभुं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु सर्वानर्थहरं देवं सर्वमङ्गलमङ्गलं सर्वक्लेशहरं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु ब्रह्मण्यं धर्मतत्त्वज्ञं भक्तकीर्तिविवर्धनं भक्ताभीष्टप्रदं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु शोषणं पापपङ्कस्य दीपनं ज्ञानतेजसः तापप्रशमनं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु सर्वरोगप्रशमनं सर्वपीडानिवारणं विपदुद्धरणं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु जन्म संसारबन्धघ्नं स्वरूपानन्ददायकं निःश्रेयसपदं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु जयलाभयशक्काम धातुर्दत्तस्य यस्तवं भोगमोक्षप्रदस्येमं प्रपठेत् सकृती भवेत् श्री श्रीगणेशाय नमः श्रीसरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीपादवल्लभ नरसिंह सरस्वती श्रीगुरुदत्तात्रेयाय नमः।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्।